ahora sí, en esta ocasión cruzamos el Canal de la Mancha para descubrir cómo Reino Unido se ha convertido en un referente de turismo de pantalla. En este track se desarrollará en español e inglés porque contamos con la compañía de David Middlemis de Black Country Living Museum y de Fiona Johnston de Brit Movie Trips. Modera la sesión Ana Alonso, así que un fuerte aplauso para ellos.
Pues hola y gracias. Y bueno, primero tengo que pedir disculpas, ¿no? Por dos motivos. Puede ser que han enterado que no soy Cillian Murphy, ¿eh? Perdona, si estaban esperando en Cillian, bueno, no soy yo. Y segundo, claro, que voy a intentar entregar mi potencia en español y destrozar la lengua, pero entonces, perdón, lo bueno es que es solo como 3-4 minutos, nada, vale. Bueno, me gustaría contarles sobre una región en Europa. No solo una región, sino un país, dicen la gente allí. Un país con su propia bandera. Bueno, es un país forjado en la industria, en la manufactura, parte de la cual aún perdura, pero que en su mayoría es un país postindustrial. Postindustrial y de clase trabajadora, con los desafíos que eso conlleva. Es un país donde la gente que se siente un gran orgullo en su identidad, ¿vale? Es una identidad, incluye un dialecto muy marcado, una pasión por el deporte, especialmente el fútbol. Incluso tiene su propia gastronomía, este país. En el centro del país hay un centro cultural que es motivo de orgullo para la comunidad. Pero claro, no se trata del País Vasco, sino el Black Country. Vamos, entonces, dime la verdad, ¿quién ha oído hablar de Black Country? Levante la mano. Bueno, no te sientes mal, es que la verdad es que un asunto muy interesante y me interesa mucho las charlas antes de Bilbao en el pasado y tal, porque la verdad es que es muy desconocido. El Black Country es una región junto a Birmingham, pero que no incluye a Birmingham, es muy importante. Tiene una población urbana densa de 1.3 millones de personas. Fue el lugar, el nacimiento de la revolución industrial. Llamado negro por la veta de carbón. También quizás negro por el humo de las fábricas que hacía la región fuera negra de día, roja de noche. Vale, bueno. El Black Country Museum, del cual soy director, es un museo viviente, fundado hace casi 50 años, celebra esta historia en un espacio de 12 hectáreas y unos 100 edificios con numerosos autobuses, tranvías, coches, barcos de la época. El museo cuenta con alrededor de 50 actores cada día. Contamos historias desde el siglo XIX hasta la década de las 60, destacando la región y sus comunidades diversas. Recibimos alrededor de 400.000 cada año visitantes. Bueno, es el museo. Ahora, Peaky Blinders. Bueno, Peaky Blinders, creada por Stephen Knight. Se transmitió desde septiembre de 2013 hasta abril de 2022. Como suele decir Stephen, el museo es el hogar de Peaky Blinders, el corazón de Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders es una historia de éxito de la región. Una de las series de televisión más populares de los últimos tiempos fue, en 2021, la más vista en 24 países del mundo. Escenas de cada una de las 6 temporadas fueron filmadas en el museo. Y en el año pasado, el invierno pasado, recibimos a Netflix para el rodaje de la nueva película de Peaky Blinders, que se estrenará a finales de este año. qué ilusión. Ser una de las principales locaciones del rodaje de Peaky Blinders definitivamente nos ha puesto en el mapa, ¿vale? Aumentando nuestro perfil tanto a nivel nacional como entre los visitantes internacionales. A menudo recibimos visitantes que vienen específicamente al museo tras vernos en la serie, especialmente turistas internacionales, desde que el programa se volvió global. Bueno, y mucho más. Peaky's ciertamente ha elevado nuestro perfil como locación de rodaje y hemos estado encantados de recibir muchas otras producciones para filmar. Puede que nos hayas visto en la película de 2018 de Stan y Ollie, un biopic que narra los últimos años de la vida de Laurel y Hardy. Nuestra tienda de fish and chips y nuestro pub en el pueblo fueron elementos destacados allí. También recibimos el equipo de Cooler Room, una película de Sky Cinema, The Land Girls con Rachel Weisz, y el año pasado nuestra primera película de Bollywood. Entonces, lo que hacemos en el museo es un poco diferente y claro que tenemos una historia interesante. Hemos estado en un viaje en los últimos 12 años con filming y, ¿qué puedo decir? Para nosotros queremos que nuestros visitantes se sientan como las estrellas de su propia película cada día. Y bueno, me gustaría charlar más de este tema en unos minutos. Muchas gracias.
Sí. Gracias. Genial, ¿eh? Y muchas gracias el esfuerzo para hablar español. Fiona, your turn.
Let's see if I can get this working.
Sí. Ahora se explicará, pero bueno, Movie Tours es una gran empresa de tours en todo Reino Unido, específicamente conectada con lo que es el mundo del audiovisual. Adelante, Fiona.
Let me just double check that I'm going to get this right. Yep, that sounds about right, yeah. Just double checking. Yay! So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, first of all, for having me here today. I know I will be doing this entirely in English, so lo siento, I only hablas español poquito, sí, but not fluent, lo siento. Also, many thanks on behalf of my boss, the founder of Brit Movie Tours, Mr. Lewis Swan, who would be here in my place, but it's his son's birthday, so here I am. So, Brit Movie Tours. We were founded in 2009, so we have been operational for at least 15 years so far, as founded by Lewis Swan, primarily because for a love of the James Bond films, which naturally, when we found out that this Congress was taking place in Bilbao, Lewis was overwhelmed and a little bit jealous that I was going to see where Pierce Brosnan abseiled down the Guggenheim, or near the Guggenheim Museum, and he wasn't going, but that's okay, I just went in his place. But nevertheless, so a little bit about us. So there he is, the man himself, the legend, who's crying somewhere back in England. But anyway, so inspired by the love of the James Bond films, as well as Harry Potter, Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Who, just an example, Brit Movie Tours was founded by Lewis. We are the original and market-leading provider of movie and TV locations across the UK and in Northern Ireland. We offer a variety of private and public tours, both on foot and by bus or in a private taxi, depending upon the customer's requirements or their budget, for example. We are primarily based in London, but we have got offices all across the country. We are in Liverpool for Peaky Blinders. We are in Bristol for the TV sitcom Only Fools and Horses, if anyone's familiar with that. Just David, all right, that's fine. But of course, we also focus on Game of Thrones in Northern Ireland. Then up north in Scotland, we've also got Outlander, and most famously down in London, Harry Potter. And yes, we welcome as many as 45,000 visitors from each year from all across the globe, New Zealand, Australia, America, Europe, because we love to bring these stories to life and bridge the gap between fiction and reality and provide an unforgettable experience. So this is just a good example as to what tours we operate, where and across the country. As previously mentioned, Game of Thrones, Northern Ireland. Downton Abbey is up in the Cotswolds, a good 2-hour drive from London. Very, very popular with Americans. I mean, Maggie Smith. Need I say any more? Then, in the heart of Wales, we've got Gavin and Stacey. Fantastic sitcom. Does anyone know of Gavin and Stacey? Put your hand down, David. And of course, television's longest running science fiction show, Doctor Who, which is my favourite. Yes. Please tell me you at least know Doctor Who. Oh! Bueno, gracias. Both hearts are fluttering,
Yeah.
but still. But also, most recently in the last year, we've also set up in Cornwall, right in the far southwest of England, in a gorgeous area called Loo, where we do select tours for another television show called Beyond Paradise, which is the sibling show for the Death in Paradise show, if you ever watched that. Yes, fantastic, very popular. So, a good variety, including, good selection of pictures that offer the tours that we provide. Top right, Harry Potter, and the fantastic Highclere Castle, which is Downton Abbey. That's a much younger me on the left-hand side, posing with two big Sherlock Holmes enthusiasts because, well, the BBC series is still very popular, even though it finished 8 years ago. In the middle, James Bond, and on the right, Peaky Blinders up in Liverpool. It's not just film and TV. We've also got another branch company called Icons. So we focus on the likes of Charlie Chaplin, Charles Dickens, Jack the Ripper, yes, but also music. So if you're a fan of the Beatles or Queen, for example, then we do those as well. But primarily, films is our passion. Another example, behind-the-scenes stuff that we offer, course reenactments. Now, if it hasn't come across already, I am a geek. I have no shame in saying it. I have the Titanic necklace. I have a Doctor Who phone case in my pocket. It's, the geekiness is surging throughout me. It's kind of bridging, as I said, bridging that gap between fiction and reality, where we can somehow bring the fiction to life and say, this is where Harry Potter gets the Hogwarts Express to go to school, or this is where the Doctor defeated the Daleks, por ejemplo. But of course, Downton Abbey, we can say, Maggie Smith walked around here, and that's enough for everyone. But also the wow factor of finally seeing your favourite film or television show brought to life. I have seen people fall to the floor with excitement because they're seeing it for real. It's not on a screen, it is right there. It's incredible. Just another example. Again, sacrilege, you don't know Gavin and Stacey. But, I won't sugarcoat it, very, very popular. We started those tours earlier this year and they're sold out for the rest of pretty much until the end of summer. It's fantastic. But also for the Doctor Who fans, bow ties are cool. But we also provide private events as well, specifically for our Carry On films, if you ever watched those, but also the James Bond films. Again, Lewis being the fan that he is, you get the chance to meet a Bond star, depending on who's available, who's around, and so on, so forth. And just an example of some of the customer reviews. Absolutely awesome from start to finish. Wonderful guide, beautiful castle. That would have been Downton Abbey. It's fantastic when they actually get to name the guides as well, so we know that they're that good, and it's not a generic. They can highlight the experience that they have had. So apologies if they're all in English. I hope you can translate a little bit of it. But basically, it's good. Yeah, that's what we like to hear. Further information if you're interested, or come find me afterwards. But thank you very much. Gracias. Lovely to meet you all. Thank you.
So thank you very much, both of you. We have not a lot of time, but I want to ask you some things. Some questions are for both of you and some others for each one of you. But in fact, I think you are really an inspiration. I mean that hopefully in the future we have some examples here in Spain, as you are showing here, to practice screen tourism. So for both, what is your view of on the evolution of screen tourism in the UK?
The evolution of screen tourism, I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. Like I said, we have people flocking from all areas of the globe. I mean, again, I'm just repeating myself now, but Harry Potter, those films finished nearly 14 years ago. They've been off screen longer than they've been on, and people are still flocking to the railway station and all areas of the country and saying, we want to see. The evolution has been phenomenal. I mean, I've only been in this job 2 years, but the requests that we've had come through is fantastic. But also, it does provide memorable experiences, because Gavin and Stacey has also been an opportunity for people to become engaged. And again, it's bringing that to life. So
Emotions again.
Sorry?
You're working with emotions again.
Yes, working with emotions, indeed, yes.
And most of them, well, not most of them, but do you receive a lot of Spanish visitors in your tours?
Some, yes. I mean, it probably won't be a big surprise that we get a lot of Americans. But we've got a good compilation of people from all across Europe, France, Germany, Spain, Italy, as well as further afield. So we've had a few people from Spain that I can recall.
Okay.
Yes.
And I can imagine that not all your services have the same price. Between an experience just a guided tour and one with a star from a movie should be some difference. Can you tell us something about the prices?
By all means. Well, the cheapest we do a public tour is £17 an adult, or 10 for a child. And then if customers want a private tour, that could be a minimum of £170 for a group of 10 people. To meet a Bond star, that would be around about the same price range, actually. But we've had customers paying near £1,000 for a private day tour with a coach, a guide, DVD clips, and also photo books as well. So it's all one big package.
So it's worth it.
Yes, I hope so.
Okay, for David, what has been the before and after of Peaky Blinders being filmed in your museum?
Okay, I'll answer in English this time, to everybody's relief. But I'll try and, I'd like to try and build some reflections on what some of the panelists before had kind of said, because I'm really interested in listening. Because there is a bit of a before and after Peaky Blinders for us at the museum. But we've been on a full journey with filming. I was really interested in what Agustin and Victor, you were saying about the professionalism of filming, because when Peaky Blinders came to the museum in 2013 to start filming, at the museum, it was very much, okay, if you want to film, just go down there and start filming, you know? We didn't close the museum, visitors were walking around, there were people just filming. Well, a few years later, we have to close the museum, right? Fully close the museum. We have to put up barriers to the street to stop people climbing over the wall. In December, we have security trying to shoot down a drone that's flying around to like film. I mean, so it's been un viaje, de verdad. And the other themes, that's one theme, the kind of professionalism. But the other theme has been for us, and I think it was a few people, I think it was Javier at the start, who said something really interesting, which makes sense to us at the museum. We're not Peaky Blinders world. We don't want to be el mundo de Peaky Blinders. Es que somos un museo, día a día. But filming can be a point of entrance for people because, like I said, nobody knows where the Black Country is, right? We want more people to come. We're an independent museum. Los ingresos tienen que ser un poco más que los gastos. Vamos. But the stories that we tell at the museum are not Peaky Blinders stories. They are stories of industry, of domestic kind of change, of the advancement of women, of immigration, of all sorts of stories. But if people come for Peaky Blinders, that's cool. We can tell them different stories when they get there, because it's puerta de entrada. And in this way, kind of to reflect on what Mercedes kind of was saying, it gives us, an opportunity if we can manage it sustainably. So after Peaky Blinders, it's raised the level, and people know us, and it's easy to say. It's easy to come to Bilbao and say, what do you do, David? I work in the Black Country Living Museum. Peaky Blinders, So, and we've done a lot of things. We have Peaky Blinders nights. Shall I talk?
Yeah.
So we have Peaky Blinders nights.
I was going to ask you about this kind of things, because I love it.
Should I say now?
Yeah.
Okay, because it's about emotions. I'm really interested. I've written it down loads of times. No hablamos de experiencias, sino de emociones. Well, our Peaky Blinders nights, we sell tickets, night at the museum. We have 2,500 people each night. And when they come, they're living in the Peaky Blinders film. So there's teatro callejero, hay música, pueden entrar a los pubs y tomar, y en el teatro hay luchas, ¿no? Con los, y toda la gente bien vestido, todo. Si ven como en traje normal, eres el único. Entonces sí, es un full experience. And it's a different way to find the
And
museum.
you told me about the shops also, or you can also have a haircut or something.
Tenemos barbero,
Barbero.
Barbero de la época, y la gente sale con un corte de cabello.
The Peaky Blinders.
Como Shelby, del estilo Shelby. Y estoy pensando, bueno, van a la OFI mañana, que no puede ser, pero es así, es que, bueno, la gente está volviendo loco. The challenge for us, that's a market very local, It's a very local market. That's cool.
Okay.
I mean, I want to come here and learn and think, because it's nice what you say, but the truth is we have much to learn. We have a lot to learn.
Okay.
And one of the things is, how could other people come? You'd like to come to that, right? Yeah. But it's a long way to the Black Country.
Okay, Fiona, I was thinking that how do you work with the new tours? I mean, do you wait for production success, or maybe you take the risk and then you change your options depending on how it works?
We actually do a bit of both, actually. A good example is that Netflix produced a fantastic espionage series called Black Doves a few months ago with Keira Knightley and Ben Whishaw, and 98% of it was filmed in London, to the point that we've gone, yep. And Series 2 is in pre-production. It's not such a huge hype, but we're ready to go if necessary. But when it comes to creating new tours, we will get something ready just in case, so that we can just hit the ground running and we've got it. But not every tour is successful immediately. It takes time to mature and grow and blossom like a flower, and then 1 year later, it's selling out, as a good example. Get me back on track. But yeah, like I said, a little bit of both. There are some which just seem to continue with the popularity. There are some which fluctuate in popularity, but there are some which will sadly disappear off the radar because they're not popular anymore. And then the new ones come in, like Bridget Jones's Diary, with more Peaky Blinders on the horizon, Gavin and Stacey, and so on, and Downton Abbey as well. The third film's coming out, so that's exciting. But,
which one is the most popular now?
The most popular?
Yes.
We actually have two popular
bestsellers,
Downton Abbey and Harry Potter.
Still.
Well, in London, but outside Gavin and Stacey. Definitely, that is very popular.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm going to ask you the last question, and then 1 minute for the questions of the audience. Because I think this is very important and it's something to think about if you want to develop this industry here in Spain. What is your relationship with the production companies behind the films and the series? Do you have any collaboration with them? Yeah. I know in your case.
Yeah, we are licensed with the production company to use, and it's quite a tight license. Okay, but it's fine. It's a fine agreement, and we work well with it. I think what I was listening to earlier, again in the talks, that was really interesting, was thinking about it's not only a relationship with the production company. There's also they need to be part of a relationship, not just with the museum, in my case, or private business, but with the local authority or the regional authority, because one of the questions I'd like to pose, I'm here to answer questions, so normally what you do is you ask them instead, and it stops people asking them, is how could screen tourism, how can it play a part in changing perceptions of a region, not just kind of work on its own level? Because in Birmingham, in the Black Country, we want it to be part of changing perceptions of a region. We want people to come and discover more. And to do that, we need the collaboration of the production company to let us go ahead and do it. But we can't ask for that alone. We have to do that in conjunction with the West Midlands Combined Authority, with the local authority. The good look we have is that the creator of the program, Stephen Knight, is from the region, and he's really passionate about developing the creative industries in the region. So in Birmingham, there's a great increase in filming studios, training for people who want to enter. So, I look forward to working not just with the producers, but with the wider network to raise the perception of the area. But it's more than one part. It can't just be, it was like Mercedes said, it can't just be the Guggenheim for Bilbao.
Yes.
That's an important thing.
It's a kind of net.
But it's got to be a mix of things. And there you go.
Okay, and in your case?
Yes, we do work fairly closely with production companies, for example, the BBC. So they're not stupid. They know something's popular. We're going to start talking about it, and therefore, if we can be official providers, we work with them, they work with us, there's no trouble. There are some companies which won't work so closely. If they've got their own agenda, that's fine, we respect that. But it's still very popular enough that we can use images free of use. There is such a thing. We were very, very, very careful because we don't step on anyone's toes. It's just not fair. But yes, we do work closely with the production companies. When the third Paddington film came out, Paddington in Peru, they also opened a live experience right by the River Thames and next to the London Eye. And so they said, right, so just to be careful, you can market yourself as the Paddington tour, but not the Paddington Bear, just in case, so there's no mix-up with the companies. I think, okay, all right, fine. We respect that, you respect us, everything's absolutely fine. Yeah, so it is a good relationship. We're also very fortunate that some of our tour guides are also in the industry themselves. So they've been on those film sets. And then legally, when they're able to, they drop me all these messages and say, right, now I can tell you everything that's happened. Because the film is out, there's no more contract. Okay, here are all the behind the scenes stuff. And it's just fun anecdotes. We then tell the guests and say, did you know this? And it brings it even more to life. And they go, what? Yeah.
This kind of histories is what the people want to listen in the tours.
Precisely.
So now, si alguien quiere hacer alguna pregunta antes de acabar este coloquio, español, inglés, ¿no? Pues we finish. Acabamos en este punto y de todas formas ellos van a estar aquí hasta las 4 de la tarde. Si tenéis alguna pregunta en el momento que salgamos a la pausa a comer, pues sabéis, los tenéis a vuestra disposición. Thank you very much.
Gracias.